She spent her entire life confined to a wheelchair, bawled from cancer treatments, and kept on a feeding tube by her mother. But when police finally tracked her down after a shocking investigation, she was standing perfectly fine. This is the twisted reality of one of America's most deceptive true crime stories. This is the true story of a woman named Dee Dee. According to investigators, she spent years convincing the world that her daughter, Gypsy, was dangerously ill. The story began in Springfield, Missouri, inside a pink house built by Habitat for Humanity. To neighbors, charities, and even doctors, Dee Dee appeared to be a devoted mother caring for her severely sick child. Gypsy was seen in a wheelchair. Her head was often shaved, and according to Dee Dee, her daughters suffered from leukemia, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, asthma, and learning disabilities. People donated money, free vacations, medical support, even charities helped build the pair a home. To the outside world, Dee Dee looked selfless, a mother sacrificing everything for her daughter. But according to police records and later testimony, much of it was allegedly fabricated. Investigators later stated Gypsy could actually walk. She did not have cancer, and many of the illnesses Dee Dee claimed she suffered from were later disputed by medical experts and investigators. According to specialists involved in the case, Dee Dee was believed to suffer from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a disorder where a caretaker allegedly exaggerates or invents illnesses in another person to gain sympathy and attention. As Gypsy got older, she reportedly started realizing something was deeply wrong. According to her later statements, she secretly tested whether she could walk whenever Dee Dee was not watching. And over time, Gypsy allegedly began understanding that the life she had been living may not have been real at all. She could walk. She could eat normally. But according to later testimony, Dee Dee allegedly convinced her that nobody would believe her if she ever tried to tell the truth. Gypsy later claimed she felt trapped inside a life completely controlled by her mother.
Prosecutors later stated Dee Dee allegedly lied about Gypsy's age for years and kept important documents hidden from her. And according to Gypsy's later statements, Dee Dee allegedly became physically abusive whenever she tried to resist. At one point, Gypsy claimed her mother tied her to a bed after she attempted to escape the house. Meanwhile, Gypsy was secretly becoming desperate to leave. By 2012, according to investigators, she had started using the internet late at night while Dee Dee slept. And online, Gypsy met a man named Nicholas. According to prosecutors, that relationship would eventually change everything.
By 2012, Gypsy was secretly living a double life. During the day, according to investigators, Dee Dee, her mother, still presented her daughter as severely ill and mentally much younger than her real age, and would still often shave Gypsy's hair. But late at night, while her mother slept, Gypsy was secretly online, using dating websites, watching videos, speaking to strangers. That's when she met a 23-year-old man from Wisconsin named Nicholas. According to court records, the pair quickly formed an intense online relationship. Over the next 3 years, investigators later discovered thousands of private text messages exchanged between them. Gypsy reportedly told Nicholas about the abuse she claimed she had suffered for years. She allegedly described feeling trapped inside the house, controlled constantly, watched closely, and desperate to escape. According to prosecutors, Nicholas became emotionally attached to Gypsy very quickly. The pair reportedly discussed marriage, running away together, and starting a new life far away from Missouri. But investigators later claimed the conversations slowly became darker. According to court testimony, Gypsy allegedly began asking Nicholas if he would help her permanently escape Dee Dee. Eventually, prosecutors claimed the pair created a plan. Nicholas would travel from Wisconsin to Springfield, Missouri, and Dee Dee would allegedly be unalived while she slept. In June 2015, Nicholas arrived in Springfield. According to investigators, Gypsy secretly let him into the house after Dee Dee had gone to bed. Court records later stated Gypsy gave Nicholas a knife before hiding inside the bathroom. According to prosecutors, Dee Dee was later found unalived inside her bedroom. Afterwards, investigators stated the pair took cash from the home and fled Missouri together. They reportedly stayed at a motel before boarding a bus to Wisconsin. But according to police, what happened next shocked the internet. A disturbing message suddenly appeared on Dee Dee's public Facebook account. Not written by Dee Dee, of course. Friends immediately panicked and called police. Officers rushed to the Missouri home and discovered Dee Dee unalived in her bed. But Gypsy was nowhere to be found. Investigators immediately began tracing the IP address connected to the Facebook post, and it quickly led them directly to Wisconsin. On June 15, 2015, police tracked the Facebook post to a home in Big Bend, Wisconsin. SWAT officers surrounded the property, and according to investigators, when they entered the house, they discovered Gypsy alive and physically healthy. For many people following the case, that moment changed everything. Because for years, the public had believed Gypsy was terminally ill, confined to a wheelchair, and mentally much younger than her actual age. But according to investigators, the entire illusion allegedly collapsed in a single day. Police quickly focused on the relationship between Gypsy and Nicholas. According to prosecutors, both later admitted involvement during questioning in the unaliving of Dee Dee, Gypsy's mother. But as detectives uncovered more details about Gypsy's childhood, public opinion around the case began shifting dramatically. Medical experts, police reports, and court testimony reportedly documented years of alleged medical abuse and manipulation by Dee Dee. According to investigators, Gypsy had undergone unnecessary medical procedures for illnesses she may never have had. She had also reportedly been forced to use wheelchairs, feeding tubes, medications, and shave her head repeatedly for years. As the case spread across television and social media, millions of people across America became obsessed with the story. Many began debating whether Gypsy should be viewed as a victim, a suspect, or both. Some people believed she was a young woman who had allegedly spent her entire life trapped under extreme control and manipulation. Others believed there could have been another way for her to escape. The case quickly became one of the most talked about true crime stories in the country. Television networks covered the investigation non-stop. Documentaries were released, and social media became flooded with debates surrounding Gypsy, Dee Dee, and Nicholas. For many people, the most shocking part was discovering that Gypsy had reportedly been physically healthy for years while the public believed she was terminally ill. According to investigators, Dee Dee had allegedly spent years manipulating charities, neighbors, doctors, and even close friends. The story became so disturbing because many people believed Dee Dee genuinely loved and cared for her daughter. But prosecutors later argued that behind closed doors, Gypsy had allegedly been living in fear and under constant control for most of her life. In 2016, according to court records, Gypsy accepted a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received a 10-year prison sentence. Prosecutors later stated the years of documented abuse heavily influenced the decision. Nicholas chose to go to trial instead, and in 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Meanwhile, Gypsy remained in prison for several years before eventually becoming eligible for parole. On December 28, 2023, she was officially released from prison at the age of 32. Since then, Gypsy has spoken publicly about the abuse she says she suffered growing up, because according to investigators, this was not just a true crime story. It was also a story about manipulation, control, abuse, and what can allegedly happen when somebody spends years trapped inside a life built entirely on lies, especially by their own mother. Thank you for watching. For more content, subscribe.